At this time, we see before us, when we see you before us and regard your histories, and regard your histories, we understand several things. We understand several things. Everything was an option. Everything was an option to decide how you wish to attend to it, to decide how you wish to attend to it. Even those things that felt circumstantial, out of your control, opportunities provided opportunities to decide for yourself, how you will attend. When you decide in a highway, I will attend to this as an opportunity. I will attend to this as an opportunity. The divine self that is you, the divine self that is you will support you in this, will support you in this, and every time. If you look for the opportunity, it holds itself in the challenge that holds itself in the challenge. You will be met in challenge. You will be met in challenge with a high option, or decision to allow the new to come forth, We decide in advance. When you decide in advance, it will be awful, that it will be awful, or arduous, or something that you will never recover from. You've given the situation, power, an enormity of power, and you've circumvented the opportunities, to lift beyond it, to see it in a higher way, or to see it in a higher way, through the choice to lie flat, and say, come and get me. This is the end of everything. This is the end of everything. Now the drama that we speak to, you lie flat, you lie flat, speak to the environment, speak to the end of everything, simply means that the choice that you make, to decide that something is forever, to decide that something is forever, can never be overcome, or seen anew, supports this, to decide that everything is an opportunity, supports the opportunity, and to realize the divine self, in every circumstance, underline every, supports every circumstance, as being met through opportunity, through opportunity means everything you see before you, can indeed lift you higher, provide more clarity, or comprehension, indeed opportunity, to know the divine self, and to know God itself, where the challenge seemed to have been, If you look at a ladder, is comprised of rungs. It is comprised of rungs. Every rung imagines itself as solitary. When your feet are on the rung, that is where they seem to be. But to lift one foot to the next rung, requires a kind of imbalance, an effort in some ways, to reach something beyond the old, when each challenge is met. In this regard, I am being moved forward, or lifted forward, or moved towards the higher opportunity, through this circumstance. Indeed, you will find it. Perhaps on your timetable, perhaps not on your timetable, but in perfect time. The residual affect of past choice. The residual affect of past choice surrounds you every day. The landscape you abide in, the governments, the religions, the churches, the mosques, the temples, built in favor of religion, the school systems, the pedigrees, the things you see, that have been given names, and been institutionalized, the product of past choice. In fact, what you do is you enter into systems, migrate at school, my matrimony, my legal estate, and you go about these things, with the expectation that they are beneficial to you. Some of them indeed may be, but they are simply structures, that you enact in, The idea of a marriage is indeed a structure, that you abide in, the release of the old, that we suggest that you attend to now, must be met in different ways, to understand each one of you as in choice, is not only our prerogative, but our gift to you, because we see you in choice, attend to you in choice, claim claiming choice. Claim you in choice. We support you each. We support you each in meeting the higher at each endeavor. In meeting the higher at each endeavor. There is a simple way to do this. There is a simple way to do this. Do not choose in fear. Do not choose in fear. Do not choose in blame. Do not choose in blame. Do not choose in acrimony. Do not choose in acrimony. Do not choose in selfishness. Do not choose in selfishness. Allow the other to be there. Allow the other to be there. Allow the circumstance to be what it is, and make the high choice. And make the high choice. A high choice is always beneficial, not one choosing. A high choice is always beneficial, not only one choosing, not only to the one choosing, but others affected by it, but others affected by it. It's really marriage. The decision to leave a marriage and find independence beyond the structure you've known, may feel terrifying, What about the poor children? What about the poor children? I must stay in this marriage until children are old enough. I must stay in the marriage until the children are old enough. I must stay in the job. I must stay in the job until I get the pension, although I hate every day of work. I must study this course. Even though I don't know anything, even though I don't know if I learn anything. Get this degree, so I can compete in the world. I don't want to do the profession, although I don't want to do the profession. Attach to the degree. Each time you agree to these things, you claim yourself, and you claim yourself in the structure. Abide by the old rules, You are not well loved by yourself, and everybody else affected will also receive the level of tone that the choice is incurred. The children realize your unhappiness. The children will realize your unhappiness. They would happily have a mother who was satisfied with her life, than one who resented being there, The job will live without you. But you must understand the decision to leave must reply by you. Circumstantial choices. You still pay the rent. You still have to pay the rent. Put the food upon the table. Some of you say to us, I cannot change. I am too old to change. I will never know this lesson. I've had many opportunities. And here I go again. Enacting the same painful scenario. That I've been through many times. You have a repeating pattern. If you have a repeating pattern that you encounter, it causes you pain. You have several things you may do with it. Understand in a certain level the pattern you're experiencing, that the pattern you are experiencing is there to teach you something, or show you something. If you don't feel better, if you don't feel victimized by the pattern, if you don't blame yourself for it, or another for it, you may see it for what it is. Simply an idea is simply an idea that you are perpetuating about something or another thing, People can't be trusted. I'm not worthy of love. I am not worthy of love. I will always be left out. Or second best. You may name the pattern. You all have your own. If you understand that you are complicit to these things, not so much through choice, but agreement, you have aligned to it. Through some familial history, through some personal history, and you expected to be there for it, and you expected to be there for it again and again. You will understand yourself through it again and again. You will understand yourself through it again and again until you understand that the record you are playing has been put on again and again, because you expect to dance to it, when something arises from the past. When something arises from the past that causes you pain, or claims challenge, and you can perceive it as opportunity, you ask the simple question, what am I to learn here? What is the opportunity here? What is the opportunity here? How can I best attend this? How can I best attend to this? And trust the high choice to come to you. You will understand yourself through the high choice. You will understand yourself through the high choice. Paul interrupts the teaching, but sometimes we don't know. But sometimes sometimes we don't know. We want to go back to the old relationship. We want to go back to the old relationship. It's what we knew because it's what we knew, even though it may not be a good one, even though it may not be a good one. We want to finish the course we took. We want to finish the course we took. We paid all the money for us. We paid all that money for the course. Are we obliged to be the profession? I know. Are we obliged to be in the profession? I don't know. But why not finish the course? But why not finish the course? Once started, once started. You may do what you wish. You may do what you wish with all of these examples, with all of these examples. But there is an aspect of you that knows. But there is an aspect of you that knows, and the aspect of you that knows, and the aspect of you that knows is actually inviting you now, to become reliant upon it, to become reliant upon it. The true self you see, the true self you see, the inner light that you are, the inner light that you are, the divine self if you wish, the divine self, if you wish, not only holds the key, but will always respond when the high question is asked. And if you're willing to hear the question, and if you are willing to hear the question without the decision of how it must be answered, you may receive the answer. You may receive the answer that is perfect for you, But it may always be the same answer. It may not always be the same answer. There was a time to be in a relationship. There was a time to be in the relationship. Support the children. Understand the lessons learned through the marriage. Understand the lessons learned through the marriage. Another time, and there may be another time when the cost of the marriage upon your own emotional being, upon your emotional well-being, and those of your children, must be attended to. The high choice is always forward. The high choice is always forward. He questions that as well. But I thought sometimes we were meant to do nothing. Well, I thought sometimes we were meant to do nothing. We don't know when we don't know. Wait until we know. That is still accurate. When the choice is made. But when the choice is made, it is always forward motion. It is always forward motion. It will always feel lighter, and it will always feel lighter. Less dense, and there will be no fear, There may be anticipation. There may be anticipation. I am stepping into the unknown. For the first time in years. I am learning new lessons. I am learning new lessons, new ways of doing things, for the first time in years. But this anticipation always hold a high choice, will always hold a high choice. You're being invited to the new life. You are being invited to the new life through the light that you are, through the light that you are, through the being that you are, in a lifted circumstance. Imagine working on the second floor of a building. Imagine you worked on the second floor of a building. You heard rumors about what happened on the third or fourth floor. You heard rumors about what happened upon the third or fourth floor, but you were never there. All you had was an idea. Maybe they're having a party all day long. Maybe they're having a party all day long. Maybe they work 40 hours a week. Maybe they work 40 hours a week and then 20 more on top of it, and then 20 more on top of it. Maybe they're unhappy. Maybe they're unhappy. Maybe they're in bliss. You won't know until you're there. Up until that moment, it's supposition. It is supposition. We must understand, but you must understand that it is you who arrives there. With a new set of opportunities, and challenges and choices. Some of you say, I feel so stuck. What that actually means is, I am so moored in my past choice. That I can't see a way to move out. That I can't see a way to move out. We have said this to some of you already. We'll repeat it here now. The way forward. The way forward will not be known until you step into it. Those of you who demand the outlines. Here is the new job opportunity. Here is the new job opportunity. Will I like it? Will I succeed? Will be baffled to know that you will not know until you enter the job. Will this man be my husband? Will this man be my husband? Will this woman be my lover? Will this woman be my lover? Will this be helpful? Will this situation be helpful or damaging? You must enter the situation. And then trust your intuitive nature. To lead you forward, or in some other direction, But if you understand that the movement is still useful, even without the outline of the outcome attached, you will understand yourself. You will understand yourself in a new way. Now, while this is a class Now, while this is a class that you are undertaking, the true class that you are taking, the true class that you are taking is actually occurring through the integration of the teaching, through the integration of the teaching. The information you receive here is useful. The information that you receive here is useful, but it's only the way we operate, but it is only the way we operate to support the requirements of each individual, in a collective field, in a new comprehension, and a new comprehension of what they may know, The final class is the ongoing class, This class is never ended. This class is never ended because the opportunities we are describing will always be before you, And if you live to the life that you truly are, I am in the upper room. I have come. Your name is new. Behold, I make all things new. It will be so. It will be so. God is. God is. God is. God is. God is. God is. It is. It is. It is. It is. It is. It is. You will be bewildered. You will be bewildered and wonder about why you always stayed in the low field. Because it was the structure you've known. Because it was the structure you had known, and you didn't know you could move beyond it, and you did not know you could move beyond it. Indeed, all of you are. Indeed, all of you are at one level of tone or another, at one level of tone or another. What we suggest for each of you now, and what we suggest for each of you now is that each day for the following week or so, you bear witness to the new. You bear witness to the new when you look around the room. When you look around the room and you understand where you stand, make the claim. I am in the upper room. I have come. And allow the energetic field to support you in this lifting, and then see the room, or out the window, or at whatever you wish, and make the true claim. Behold, I make all things new, which is the divine self claiming the new, and lifting the old, to the inherent dominion, to the inherent divinity that's always been there, Inherent divinity was correct. Inherent divinity was correct. He was questioning the word we used. As we said many times, you can make nothing holy. You can make nothing holy, but you can neither run anything, but you can deny the divine in anything. And the claim of new. And the claim, behold, I make all things new, is indeed an alchemical claim of restoration, claim of restoration, Now, at this moment, everyone present is in a kind of anticipation, Am I understanding this correctly? Am I understanding this correctly? Will I do this correctly? Will I do this correctly? Is this even worth doing? Is this even worth doing? We suggest you discover it for yourself. If you don't find benefit in these teachings, we will not be sorry. But you will learn what you have come to learn. You will learn something other someday, and you will learn something other someday. But if you find them of benefit, you'll be met by them again, and you will be met by them again and again, and you will understand quickly, when you are choosing in fear, because you're growing uncomfortable, because you will grow uncomfortable. Find it impossible to lie. You will find it impossible to lie or manipulate. It will grow too uncomfortable. It will grow too uncomfortable. You get your lessons. You will get your lessons in rapidity, not to be punished by them, but to see where you are claiming, the lower choices, you can move beyond them so that you can move beyond them. This is a great gift. It is ongoing, and it is ongoing. If we were to tell you that the idea of self that you utilized for, that you have utilized thus far has been altered, you may say, well, maybe. Let me show myself, let me see myself as I truly am, If you want that, you can have it. If you want that, you can have it, but be prepared, because the first thing you may see in the mirror, is not the resplendent divine self, is not the resplendent divine self. It is where you coat it with grime. It may be where you have coated it with grime, or where you've discovered yourself, or where you have discovered yourself to be in self-deceit, or frustration or anger, and these things can can be seen, and these things can be seen, so maybe so that they may be made new and lifted beyond, or integrated at a level to become at a level where they become opportunity. When things are seen as opportunity, when things are seen as opportunity, they're no longer obstructive. They are no longer obstructive. Paul sits in a life where he likes to claim obstruction, where he likes to claim obstruction. I didn't do this week. Well, I didn't do this week. I didn't want to do that this week. I didn't want to do that this week. Maybe I'll never do this thing. Maybe I will never do this thing. He has that choice. He has that choice. You all have that choice. You all have that choice. But here is the conundrum. The change is upon him anyway. The change is upon him anyway, just upon you, just as it is upon you. And it gets too tiresome. And it gets too tiresome to remain in place, when everything around you, when everything around you is seeking to lift you up, or move you forward, We'll say this now for each of you. We will say this now for each of you. On this day we claim that all who hear these words, and already will be met, and indeed are willing to be met by us in the higher field, will be lifted to us in the upper room, and claimed anew. Now we're going to use Paul. And actually see through his eyes, We'll invite him to open his eyes in a moment. We'll invite him to open his eyes in a moment. We're perceiving you. But we will be perceiving you wherever you may be, as the divine beings you are, as the divine beings you are. We're not looking through your cameras. We are not looking through your cameras. We are holding the field that you all occupy, a collective field that you may call a classroom, we will call the upper room, but we will call the upper room. You may say this when you wish. I know my truth. I know who I am in truth. I know what I am in truth. I know how I serve in truth. I am free, I am free, I am free. I am in the upper room. I have come, I have come, I have come. Behold, I make all things new. It will be so. God is, God is, God is. As we step into Paul, we invite you, each of you, let yourself be seen, to let yourself be seen, and to be known as the true self, as the light you truly are, as the light you truly are. And if you wish to say this, you may say it aloud. I am known, I am known, I am known. I am known, I am known, I am known. Open your eyes, please. Paul, open your eyes, please. We see you in your beauty. We see you in your right to be, in all you have known and may know. And as we say these words, we say what is always true. You are in the upper room. You have come, you have come, you have come. Blessings to each of you. Choose in love, choose in faith, choose in the willingness to be known, for the light that you truly are. Thank you for your presence. Thank you for your presence. Please stop now, please. Take a pause for Paul. We're saying period.